The year 2024 was yet again another year full of controversies, challenges and turmoil. And as usual, for the world's largest democracy, a country soaked in politics in its DNA, it was full of political upheavals. That is not to say that India's social and economic records of challenges were not in the news. The truth is, though politics and political craft continues to shape the nation's trajectory politically, the country witnessed intense election campaigns leading to the general elections in May. The elections were characterized by deep political polarization, contentious debates and widespread protests over divisive issues such as caste, reservation, religious freedoms and governance issues. The Lok Sabha elections and the state assembly elections in Maharashtra and Jammu and Kashmir, not forgetting the Jharkhand polls, were indeed as suspenseful and surprising as Indian elections always were. The results brought new political realignments, ideological challenges and debates. Today, as we look at the new year 2025 with renewed hopes of better things, let's recap some of the turmoil that happened during 2024 in India. Socially, India grappled with heightened tensions, particularly in sensitive regions like Uttar Pradesh, where the religious divide is universally thin that a careless word or a misplaced gesture could trigger widespread violence among communities. Elsewhere, the one state in India that has been burning since May 2023 continues to burn, Manipur. The northeastern state of Manipur continues to burn as the valley-based Meitei and the hill-based Kuki communities continue to clash, although at a subdued degree compared to the height of violence throughout 2023. The Manipur conflict, rooted in deep ethnic tensions between the Meitei and Kuki communities, continues unabated despite multiple peace attempts by community groups and the state's belligerent government. According to government records as of May 3, 2024, approximately 221 people have been killed and approximately 60,000 people have been displaced. Other figures mention more than 1,000 injured and 32 people missing. Economically, 2024 saw a complex interplay of opportunities and challenges. While India maintained its position as one of the fastest growing economies globally, there are other issues that still need a solution. Growing inflation, growing unemployment and fluctuation fuel prices weighing heavily on the already burdened common citizen. 2024 was another year that climatic emergencies and natural calamities, including devastating floods in northern states and cyclones along the eastern coast, compounded India's difficulties. These climate emergencies displaced thousands, destroyed infrastructure and exposed vulnerabilities in India's governmental disaster preparedness. Cyclone Rimal. The cyclone struck West Bengal in May 2024, causing widespread damage. It brought heavy rains and strong winds of up to 135 km per hour, leading to flooding in several areas. The cyclone killed at least 33 people and destroyed thousands of homes. Landslides. There were multiple landslides in India in 2024, including the Ankola landslide, which occurred in Ankola in Karnataka, the Vilanghat landslide in Kozhikode, and perhaps the most devastating of them all, Wayanad landslide in July 2024. There were floods in July and September 2024, including in Manipur and Vijayawada. For Manipur, which already had been battling ethnic violence, Cyclone Rimal triggered floods. It was reportedly the third worst in Manipur since 1988. They caused 3 deaths and left hundreds homeless. One of the biggest events that occupied major news space was the Lok Sabha Elections 2024. The general elections 2024, conducted between April 19 and June 1, 2024 in 7 phases, was one of the biggest events of the year. The results of the elections were quite shocking as the Bharatiya Janata Party BJP-led National Democratic Alliance NDA failed to achieve the goal, Ab Ki Baar 400 par, set by the ruling coalition. Even though the NDA could not cross 400 mark, it retained power, enabling Narendra Modi to take oath as Prime Minister for the 3rd time in a row. On the other side, the opposition's India bloc failed to draw political fortune, but the Congress still managed to improve its tally from 52 seats to 99. Another event that kept the country's political diaspora busy was the Maharashtra Assembly elections. Recovering from its Lok Sabha elections loss, the Bharatiya Janata Party 132 seats and Eknath Shinde's Shiv Sena and Ajit Pawar's Nationalist Congress Party backed 57 seats and 41 seats respectively. However, the results were not good for the Congress-led Mahavikas Aghati. The Congress registered one of its worst performances in the state assembly polls after it won only 16 seats. Sharad Pawar's NCP-SP backed only 10 seats, while the Uddhav Thackeray's led Shiv Sena secured 20 seats. However, the biggest electoral event for 2024 in India was the Jammu and Kashmir Assembly elections. The Jammu and Kashmir election was a landmark as it came after 1 decade in the absence of special status to the state under Article 370. The special status was abrogated in 2019. Umar Abdullah-led National Conference won 42 seats to form the government. The BJP won 29 seats, while Mehbooba Mufti's PDP won just 3 seats. Elsewhere, the Bharatiya Janata Party retained power in the state in Haryana elections. A significant event to 2024 was Arvind Kejriwal's resigning as Chief Minister of Delhi. In a move that was criticized as political gimmick, Arvind Kejriwal stepped down on September 17, paving a way for his party colleague Atishi to take over after coming out from the jail on bail in the excise policy scam case. Kejriwal vowed that he would accept the post of Chief Minister only after the people of Delhi gave him a clean chit. One of the most surprising political events in 2024 was the entry of Priyanka Gandhi Vadra into India's political space. The sister of Lok Sabha leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi made her electoral debut by winning the Wayanad Lok Sabha by polls with an impressive 64.99% vote share. Another significant event was the inauguration of the Ram Mandir in Uttar Pradesh's Ayodhya. The temple was inaugurated on January 22, 2024. Ayodhya in Uttar Pradesh is believed to be the birthplace of the Hindu deity Ram. The site is where the Babri Masjid, a Mughal-era mosque, stood until December 6, 1992, when Hindu activists destroyed the mosque and tensions between religious groups led to rioting throughout the country. The site at which the under-construction Ram Mandir stands has long been an area of conflict. The Hindu community considers it Ram Jamabhumi or Ram's birthplace, while the Muslim community holds it sacred as the spot where the 16th century Babri Masjid stood, and numerous lawsuits were filed by both communities for possession of the site. A court ruling in 2010 divided the land between Hindus and Muslims, but the decision was overturned in 2019 by the Supreme Court of India, which entrusted the site exclusively to Hindus and directed the state to grant an alternate site in Ayodhya to the Muslim community. The temple's consecration ceremony was held on January 22, 2024, with approximately 7,000 guests, including Bollywood celebrities, prominent athletes, business moguls and spiritual leaders, among others, attended. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi presided at the ceremony. The year 2024 may be remembered as a year of judicial activism in India's judiciary. The year saw the Supreme Court making a number of groundbreaking decisions that reshaped the legal and policy frameworks of the country, from striking down controversial policies such as the electoral bond scheme to regulating of madrasa education. These rulings have ignited debates. Each verdict has redefined the boundaries of constitutional law, leaving an impact on India's political, social and legal fabric. Here are some of the key judgments passed by the Supreme Court in 2024. One of the most significant rulings of the Supreme Court came on February 15, 2024, when the Apex Court struck down the 2017 electoral bond scheme. The court declared it unconstitutional for infringing upon the fundamental right to information under Article 19, Clause 1, Clause A. A 5-judge constitution bench led by Chief Justice D.Y. Chandrachud ruled the anonymous donations through electoral bonds undermined participatory democracy by depriving the public of essential transparency in political funding. The court said that such capacity compromises free and fair elections, favoring corporate interests over individual rights. Another important event is the Supreme Court ruling against legislative immunity for bribery. On March 4, 2024, the Supreme Court overruled its 1998 judgment in the P.V. Narasimha Rao case that granted immunity to legislators under Article 105 Clause 2 and 194 Clause 2 of the Constitution over bribes associated with legislative activities. The ruling was associated with the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha Cash for Votes case. A 7-judge bench headed by the then Chief Justice of India D.Y. Chandrachud held the parliamentary privileges cannot cover corruption and clarified that immunity extends only to acts indispensable to the legislative functions, not to criminal acts like bribery. Another key judgment that the Supreme Court took was its permitting sub-classification within the scheduled caste category. In August 2024, a 7-judge bench of the Supreme Court ruled by 6-1 majority that sub-classification within the scheduled caste category is permissible. This ruling allowed for more targeted quotas for historically underrepresented subgroups. Another important verdict of the Apex Court was its striking down the so-called bulldozer justice system as a violation of rule of law. In November 2024, the Supreme Court condemned the practice of demolitions by state authorities as a form of punitive action known as bulldozer justice against people found breaking the law. The bench of Justices B.R. Gavai and K.V. Vishwanathan ruled that such demolition violate the rule of law, the principle of separation of powers, and the fundamental right of citizens to shelter. It emphasized that property demolition without judicial oversight bypasses due process and violates the presumption of innocence. The judgment reiterated the need for public accountability and adherence to legal procedures. Another significant event during 2024 was Jharkhand Chief Minister Hemant Soren's return to power from being in jail for corruption cases to being given bail to form the government in the state. Soren was jailed in a land case. After securing bail, he contested elections and led his party, the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha, to victory. His party secured 34 seats in the Jharkhand Assembly and returned to power. The number of significant social, religious and political events that took place in 2024 in India was numerous. However, these are some of the ones that affected significant changes to the outlook and landscape of India as it journeys into the future. That's all for now. We'll be back for more. Happy New Year ahead.